Alright you lot, how you all been? Alright. What I'm doing is, my battery in my car's going a bit funny. It's going a bit flat. I need to charge it. And I want to see if I can make a good charger. Because I've got some of these old chargers here. I've got the CB on. Let me just turn this on. Bloody pain in the arse that is. Right, I reckon this is a good one. I think it turns on. Yeah, that's on. It does come on. So what I want to do, I want to try and make a good one out of it, because what it is, this was my dad's and he gave it to me a long time ago, and I've noticed it's on the 6-volt setting. So I used to have a little motorbike that took two 6-volt batteries, and you can tell what he's done. He's took the wires, put a thing on it so he could charge both batteries at the same time. I should think that's probably what he's gone and done. So I don't, because there's no clips, no crocodile clips on this. I've got this other charger, this other old one here, that's got one clip on the positive, but the negative is missing the clip. So I could just use this charger and find a clip for it, but this doesn't look quite as old, and I want to try and use the oldest one. I like metal, anything that's metal, it's got a nice little gauge on it. Look at that little gauge, it's nice and metal. It doesn't have any dates or anything on it to tell you how old it is. But I'm guessing it's relatively old. Anyway, what make is it? Denken. Is that Denken? Don't know. But anyway, what I'm going to try and do is I've got another charger, and I'm going to nick temporarily. If I can get this to work, I'll just buy some more crocodile clips and put them on. But I'm going to temporarily nick the clips off this other charger. So bear with me. I'll get the other one. Alright, here's the other one I've got. Now, God knows, it's covered in like fluff from somewhere. I don't know where. It's been on top of the shelf. I reckon what it is, there's animals and spiders and stuff will come in here and sort of make fluff all over the place. But I've noticed that this has got two clips, one on the positive, one on the negative. So we've got clips on this one. God knows whether this works. This one just says linear car battery charger. Fuse wire must not be used for repairing or replacing correct cartridge fuses. See, with 6-volt or 12, all you do is you take this little pin out and you put it where you want it to be. So if you want to do 6-volt, you put that little pin in there, that does 6, and if you want to do 12, you take the little pin out. Well, it's got stuck in the 6-volt now. There you go, take that out, and then you flick, because one's bigger than the other, see? And you stick that in there. It's got various, I don't know what this is, must be the amps. Yeah, that must be the amps. What sort of amps you want to charge, I should imagine. It looks like it, doesn't it? 200, 240. Oh, that might be the voltage. That might be the voltage of what you're plugging it into. Don't know. But I'm going to stick it on 240 because that's what we got. So, what's this up here? Oh, look, we've got high, medium and low. You know, whether you want to charge on a high voltage, low voltage. Oh, so that's the voltage you're plugging it into then. Anyway, I don't want to see if this works. Well, I do in at a later date, but I want to get this one to work. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nick the two crocodile clips. Sounds like the wind's just blown the bins over. Again, we're having they're calling it a storm. I don't know what it is, but we're having a little bit of wind at the moment over here in good old England. A little bit of wind and rain. Anyway, so I'm going to take these clips off. I'm going to put them on this other one, and then I'm going to see if it works. Hopefully, it does, and I can go and stick the battery on charge. So yeah, I do love the older stuff. You know, the older stuff. You know, it tends to be a lot better than most things you can get new nowadays. But the trouble that you've got is the society that we live in these days. Everybody wants stuff done immediately. So, you know, things are made to be done fast, and old stuff that generally isn't as fast is rendered inferior, unfortunately, which is a big shame, I think, anyway. So these old chargers, these would generally, what you would do is you'd put your battery on charge overnight, is what you would do. Let's just get a little bit of, got some oil here. I'm just going to put a little bit on this hinge if I stop throwing it about everywhere, because you know, make it a little bit more. Because it was a little bit stiff. It was. I'll make it a little bit better, won't it? I'll put a little bit on the hinge of this bolt as well. Look. There we go. So what you would generally do, and I remember my dad when I was a kid, and you know, we used to have to charge the battery up on his car or whatever. He'd put it on charge in the shed overnight. I mean, there's obviously a problem with that, because you know, you need to watch a battery while it's charging, really, because they have a tendency to catch on fire. But you know, back then that's what you had to do. So things were generally a bit slower, but everyone wants things done like yesterday nowadays, and that's a bit of a shame. It's a good in a way, because things get done quicker, you save money, you save time, but that's what the modern world's all about, isn't it? And it's a shame. Right, so we've got off. There we go. There's our two clips. So I can put this to one side, and we'll come back to this one after. If we can get this one here to work, oh bloody hell! If we can get this one here to work without me kneeing myself in the shin again with a piece of metal, let's get a trusty screwdriver. Now we don't need 4 on here anymore, so we can take this side off, and we only need the 2. So we can take that off. That'll come in handy for something else, as things often do. If you take something off, never throw it away. Like this wire might come in handy, but this connector block will come in very handy for something in the future. I can guarantee you that. So let's have a look. So we've got our wires now. They're not very long. Granted, they're not very long, but this is only a small charger, so we don't really want very long wires. The longer the wire, the more powerful the charger needs to be, really. So these are both the same. Oh no, they're not, well, they are the same, but they're actually marked positive and negative. Look, see on the top there. So I'm going to go along with those markings, and I'm going to put the negative on the negative and the positive on the positive. Right, I didn't have to strip any more wire off. I just found it easier if I use a screwdriver instead of a spanner I was trying to use. Anyway, so plug it in, and let's get the old multimeter. There's a multimeter. Are we zoomed in or not? No. Oh, there we go. We were zoomed in a little bit. I thought that was a bit close. 20 volts. Let's clamp the negative, clamp the positive, and switch it on. So, it's still in the 6 volt setting, and we're getting 8.25. I forgot it was in the 6 volt setting, so let's turn that off and take this out. Put it in a 12 volt setting, because we're going to be charging a car battery. We need a 12 volt setting, and this charges at 4 amps, by the way, in case you hadn't realised. Turn it on. There we go. 13.52 volts. That's fantastic. Well, I know that one's working. That should be all good. It's humming away, lovely jubbly. Right. Now this is the one I initially wanted to work. I wasn't too bothered about the other one, but I'm interested to see whether the other one's going to work. Right, got this other one here. I really wanted to see if it's going to work, but it's going to need a little bit of maintenance or TLC before we can do that, because as I took the airline to it and blow some of that cobwebs off and all that dust, and I noticed that this wire is very, very badly damaged. It's like all falling apart. Look, it's all coming off, and that's the bare wire in there. Look, that's bare wire. So that's a shame. Volex, that plug is a Volex plug. Oh, it's got no fuse in it anyway. Wonder why it's got no fuse in it. It's probably because of that wire. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to buy some more wire, and I'll take it apart, and we'll replace the wire in it. Can't be that hard. One of them goes here. It must be the earth, I should imagine. And 2 wires go inside. I'm not going to take it apart this yet because I ain't got any wire to go in it. I'm going to buy some wire first, and then we'll take it apart and replace the wire. So I'm not going to do that one, but I have got this. I've got 2 other ones. I don't know what on earth, what's going on with them. We've got this one here. I would imagine this is from somewhere in the 90s, just because it's plastic. They'd obviously invented plastic by this time and decided to use plastic for stuff, not instead of the good old metal, which is a shame. There we go with it. There's been a bit of a redneck repair going on here. I did wonder why there was tape around it. That's why there was tape around it. Well, I should be able to fix that. I should have some. There we go. Bit of tape. Right, let's tape it up. Yeah, I'd say this one's probably from the 90s. I'm only guessing. It's just because of the fact it looks sort of like that sort of style, doesn't it? Sort of. What do you reckon? I don't know. Late 80s, early 90s? I really don't know. I wouldn't have thought it's from 2000s, you know. I'd say it's from a bit earlier than that. A little bit of tape around there. So that's just to keep that together. And I'll just touch the negative on there. So this one, the power wires are right on this one. A little bit of damage. It's quite cracked. Have we got any? What have we got on here? Caution for indoor use only. Products FKI Products Ltd. Slowly Bridge, West Yorkshire. Oh, it's an England one, made in England. Oh, brilliant. That's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Rattles a little bit there. Yeah, quality's not as good as the other one. It's definitely a lot younger than the other one, that's for sure. So we've got 12 volt setting and a 6 volt setting on this one. Got an amp meter, but it's just a bit of paper inside there, and it's oh, does that come off? I'll break it. I don't know whether the amp meter works. It's a bit of paper's come loose inside there. Anyway, so let's clamp the positive to our meter. There's our meter. Where's the negative wire gone? Oh, that's handy. Look, I've got one of these up here, so we can wrap it around like that and clamp it on. There we go. Switch it on. That makes a buzz, that one. That makes a big buzz. 12.8. The other one was giving us 13.8, wasn't it? In the end, the other one was fluctuating between 13.6 and 13.8. This one is fluctuating 12.8, 12.7. But if we stick it on the 6 volt setting, 6.4. Yeah. Makes a bit more of a buzz, this one, as you would expect. Seems a pretty constant flow though. 12.7 now, 12.78. That will charge a battery. It will charge a battery slowly, but it will charge a battery. What sort of amps is this? 4 amp. So it's the same amperage as the other one. 4 amps. Cars, caravans, boats. Automatic thermal overload protection. Battery charger. Yeah, so it's 12.86. So this one's definitely a lot younger than the other one. I think that brown one with the broken wire is probably the oldest. And then we've got that grey one, which is probably my favourite one as long as that amp meter works. And then we've got this one. Lovely. These are just sort of like consumer ones, you know, like ordinary people, aren't they? You know what I mean? They're not, you know, for industrial use or commercial use. I'm trying to say, you know, they're just for the odd person that needs to charge up his car battery like once every 6 years or whatever, you know. Not like the other one. You can tell by the wires. Look how thin the wires are. You see, it'll take all night to charge up a battery with one of these chargers. You know, it's going up. I see 12.7, 12.8. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the other one. I got another one, but I don't think it's going to work.